we're going to Minnesota this weekend, which will be on BTN. But, Coach, go ahead and start us off with an opening statement, and we can go into questions.
I'd like to thank everyone for coming to the annual mid-year volleyball portion. I might want to stick around for Coach B. I hear they're doing pretty good. So, no, it's been an interesting year for us, and we're 3-3 in the Big Ten. We're 8-8 overall. 6 of our 8 losses have come to top 25 teams. 3 of those in the 5th set, where we've been close. And I tell the team it's better to be close than too far away. But of course, that only counts in horseshoes. So we got to make sure that we're doing our best to try to close out matches, close out points. We've been through a little bit of adversity with some injuries, just kind of random in and out. So we haven't really been consistent in a lineup. But I'm proud of how we fought through a lot of our matches this year. And even this loss yesterday against Penn State. Okay, we get swept in 3, but we come back from a couple of deficits and we're in the match. And so. You're not always going to produce wins, but again, we kind of look for how we're playing, how the team's doing. Everyone's in good spirits, and we still got a lot of great players that are out there. We're anchored by Randa Terry, who's playing 6 rotation outside. She's doing a tremendous job. She's top 3 in aces, points, and kills in conference. We got Brooke Mosier, who I recruited here to be a setter. She's playing 6 rotation outside for us at the moment, just based on the availability of other players. If you haven't seen her play, she's probably one of the best volleyball players that I've coached in terms of all-around skill set. She could really light up a match pretty quickly. And then Diana Brown, our 5th-year senior setter, she's the smartest kid I've ever coached. She's going to be taking our MCATs in the spring, and so she's an impressive human being, and that's an impressive team. So unfortunately, we don't have as many wins as we've had in the past. But again, season's not over. We're halfway through, and we're looking forward to finish on a strong second half here.
Some of those games.
Score more points. Yeah, no, I think right now, again, while you're trying to go through your roster changes and trying to figure it out, kind of not on the fly. We know some of the strengths and weaknesses that we have. You have to get out of some of those rotations early. I tell the team we've got 12 rotations to win. You got 6. You got 1 on offense, 1 on defense. And we're just finding ourselves in too many streaks right now. And so we're doing a nice job of scoring points in bunches, but we're also giving up some points in bunches as well. So we have to stem some of those a little bit earlier. And, it's tough in our conference. Like I mentioned, we've got 6 losses in the top 25. In our conference alone, we've got 9 teams receiving votes in the country. I mean, that's out of 14 teams in the conference. And even if you're not ranked in our conference, you're still seeing results that are 4-set, 5-setters, and so we know it's a part of the gig, and again we just have to keep moving forward. We can't look back too much. We just got to keep going forward. We're allowed to go out and recruit at this moment. It gets a little bit tough. We did recruit a couple times already this fall. Just when we had an off day, we were able to see some high school tournaments that were going on up in Chicago. Most of our recruiting happens in the winter and spring, though. So the club tournaments happen. We're in our spring mode here with the team, and we train a little bit less and recruit a little bit more in the spring and the summer.
When it's maybe not been one thing you could fix instead of on those runs, is that more frustrating, or just you can't focus on a specific area and say the results will be better?
Yeah, it makes practicing a little bit tougher, just, especially this time of year. We play yesterday. We have today as an off day. We have a small serve and pass tomorrow. We play again on Wednesday. So there's not a ton of time to work on everything that we need to work on, which every coach is going to tell you everything. But from our end, it's with all the moving pieces, it's like, okay, well, like I mentioned, we have Brooke, who's playing 6 rotation outside for us. She's a trained setter, but she has the capability of playing outside. And so now it's a new dynamic and a new position that she maybe has to learn, which she's doing a great job of. But the whole defensive dynamic changes, and how you block, how you defend, how you do everything else. I think that's where it gets difficult. And so we try to talk a lot about taking care of our side of the net. How can we score points the best? And then, of course, what's 1 or 2 things that we can slow down from there, and that team does well that we have to also slow down. You're not going to stop everyone completely, but you got to slow down their top 1 or 2 hitters. And I thought we'd done a nice job of that, for the most part. We just, again, haven't scored enough to come over the hump in some of those games.
Pass well enough to get your middles involved as much as you thought?
That's one thing that we knew at the beginning of the year was going to be difficult for us. We lost 2 players in Taylor Cooper and Megan Cooney, who, between the 2 of them, I think had taken like 2,000 game reps, which is not easily replaced. from the passing standpoint, and now you're replacing them with, Reyna, who's he played 6 rotations for us last year, but didn't have a ton of in-game reps. And then you got Caroline Barnes, who played DS, who's now moving to the libero role. But I can tell you that both of them are doing a fantastic job from a numbers perspective. They're passing with 2 a lot right now, but yeah, ideally we pass a little bit better. They know that, but also there's a big deal to to not give up a ton of points in terms of when you do have a swing, to making sure you're keeping the other team kind of on their heels a little bit, which I think we're also doing a good job of too. But we're always looking for improvement in that area.
We wanted to see some things that kind of alters what you guys do. Do you like that, or does it not matter?
To me, it's just a part of what sports is. It's just like we have to be able to like, we like the exposure that we get for being on Wednesdays. We're on BTN. This Wednesday we're on ESPNU. And so you're going to want that exposure, and you're going to gladly give up some days of quote unquote development. And we just change how you develop. Like this morning we have a system where we tag film. They're able to see our commentary. You spend a little bit more time tagging film that week, as an example. So I'm a fan of anything that kind of gets our sport out there more. I think just in the last several months, I've seen a lot of ESPN picking up matches. The viewership on BTN's up and ESPN's up, and so just the more exposure that we can get for our sport, I always think is a good thing. So happy, however that happens. If you want us to play Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'll play 5 days in a row if that's what makes sense. But maybe not that many days, but you get what I'm saying.
Anything else for Coach?
Cool. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it.